BookTube, and welcome to the desk in front of the second bookshelf that I don't know if you guys liked or not because I'm filming all of these videos in advance. But today we're going to be reacting to negative reviews of some of my favorite books. I've done this before on my other channel before this one, but I have different favorite books since then, and I also didn't cover all of my favorite books in that video. So first, The Knife I'm Never Letting Go has an average rating of 3.96 at Goodreads, so I'm assuming there's some pretty negative reviews because that's definitely not the best. This person didn't like the main character Todd. I definitely thought he was unlikable, but I thought that was interesting, and I thought it was a cool angle that Rothfuss tried to explore this unlikable main character. And something that I really hate that people think about is that you shouldn't like a book if you don't like the main character, because there's so much value in books where the main character isn't that likable, where they aren't the best person, because it just creates a more interesting reading experience. In my perspective, in my point of view, the way the author just kept piling onto the characters was absolutely ridiculous. Seriously, how many bad things can you think of to put your characters through? I really loved that. I thought it was all realistic and that it all came naturally, but yeah, they went through it in this book, and I thought that was really important, that they grew really strong, their relationship got tighter, and they learned so much about each other and grew as characters because of all that stuff. So yeah, this person just wrote poo Todd. And this person also said Todd has got to be the least sympathetic and least believable protagonist that I've ever encountered. And again, I just didn't experience that, especially because you have to think about how you would grow up in the society with telepathy, where you can hear everybody's thoughts from the beginning, and you definitely wouldn't be the smartest person if that's just invading your brain at all points. This person said they didn't like how chaotic the narrative was. I love that. I don't know if I just am a very chaotic person, but I thought that it really served the story well, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Aaron, what? I don't want to get into spoilers, but just, I didn't like it. This person wrote the review in Spanish, and I wish I could understand it, but I'm only in level 1. This person also said Todd really annoyed me. Yeah, the writing style is a complaint I keep seeing, and it is a really interesting one, and I know if you don't like it, you at least can appreciate it. But if you don't like it, it's really hard to get into story. I thought it served the story well, and that it also made a lot of sense when you think of, again, the world that they're in. People are saying that there wasn't much plot, that it was just a lot of them running. In a sense, I guess that's true. But I feel like, first of all, a lot of fantasy books are just the characters running around and doing stuff across this entire world. I don't think it's that uncommon. But second of all, I think that it made sense what they were doing, and that it wasn't just aimlessly running around. Like, they had a purpose, and they definitely executed, or at least tried to. Oh my god. This person said, I reached a point where I just didn't care what improbable, exhausting, depressing quandary the characters were about to get into. Cormac McCarthy, Patrick Ness, and all of Job's friends can go drink in an apocalyptic corner and be tragic together. They're not invited to my parties. This person said they were bored. I was not ever bored. I was just always on the edge of my seat, whether it was the writing style, which I immediately found just really unique, or the characters or whatever was happening. And yeah, and I feel like a lot of these reviews aren't talking about Viola, who was such a great character and was so different in so many ways to Todd, and who really helped him grow through this book. Yeah, and it's just a lot of the same complaints about Todd being unlikable, about the plot just being them running around. And again, like, I understand those complaints, but I just disagree with them. And that's perfectly fine. We're all entitled to our opinions. Now let's go to one of my other favorites. This is one that I read this year and absolutely loved, and that is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. And this is actually really positively rated on Goodreads with the 4.31. But let's see what people didn't like about it. So there are 2,000 1-star reviews. That's 1% of the reviews. Characters fall into two camps, good and evil. Did we read the same book? I thought it was really morally gray, and that there was a lot of like are they necessarily doing the right thing? Because I could definitely see from the evil, I could definitely see from their point of view why they were doing some of the things they were doing. So you have all the technology to defy mortality, but you still use people to kill other people for population control? Yeah, I thought that because then they can morally do it, and there can be kills not just because of a scientific standpoint, because of a moral standpoint, so you don't just randomly kill people, which is actually kind of ironic if you know how the book turns out, but anyway. The world building wasn't that good. I thought it was really developed from a history standpoint, from just the kind of society they've built around not dying of conquering death. The plot was a joke. The plot was one of my favorite things about this book. Yeah, the one complaint I have about Scythe is the romance. I felt like it was a little forced, just a little forced. You could definitely see that these characters did have something in common and were definitely in a way made for each other, so I didn't think it was like completely out of the realm of possibility. That lots of people through the reviews I've read have said that the theme kind of plastic and kind of fake. I thought it was really interesting, and even if you don't want to look at it in the obvious, like, death is an important part of nature and it's an important part of this human cycle and brings meaning to our lives, there's just so many other ways to read this book. I just don't necessarily agree with the fact that there's just one theme that you can read with this book and that the author wants you to see, because I feel like there's just so much more you can take from it, whether it be going along the like Brave New World or 1984 lines, or just look at the Thunderhead. I think we're going to end it there. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment down below your thoughts on these books if you disagree, because again, like, even if I'm not trying to be mean at all, but people will disagree on books because they're just so subjective. So yeah, comment down below, comment your thoughts, subscribe, turn those notifications on, and I'll see you next time with another video. Bye.